The world is watching as the US cracks down on Iran's shadow banking network, an operation that's not just about nuclear ambitions, but also about the region's most pressing conflicts. Why now, and how does this tie into the violence in Gaza and beyond? Let's break it down. The US Treasury recently sanctioned over 30 individuals and 16 companies accused of laundering billions for Iran's nuclear and missile programs. But US officials and recent UN reports also point to Iran's financial support for regional groups, including the Houthis in Yemen, who have launched attacks on Red Sea shipping and, according to US intelligence, received up to $100 million annually from Iran in recent years. These funds are often moved through front companies in Hong Kong and the UAE, using fake invoices and complex transactions to disguise oil profits and channel money to proxy groups. Billions flowed through this shadow system, fueling not just Iran's government but also its allies across the region. According to US and UN sources, this network, allegedly run by 3 Iranian brothers, has become a critical artery for funding groups like the Houthis, Hezbollah, and others. The US says the goal is to cut off funding for weapons development, regional militancy, and, indirectly, to pressure Iran over its support for groups involved in conflicts like the Gaza war. But critics argue that these sanctions may not stop the violence. Some experts, citing recent UN estimates, say Iran's support for the Houthis and other groups continues despite years of sanctions, with financial flows adapting to new restrictions. Iran calls the sanctions illegal and claims they hurt ordinary citizens, not the leadership or its regional allies. Some analysts warn that isolating Iran could push it closer to China and Russia, deepening global divides and making the region even more volatile. Others argue that targeting Iran's finances is the only way to curb its influence and reduce the flow of weapons and money to groups involved in conflicts from Gaza to Yemen. So, are these sanctions a step toward peace, or do they risk escalating tensions and harming civilians? The debate continues, with facts and figures from US and UN reports fueling both sides. What's your take? Are US sanctions on Iran's shadow banking making the world safer, or just raising the stakes? Let us know what you think.